So, okay.
Yeah, I don't see them on the participant list. So if that,
Neither.
all right, let's move to public comment. Is there any members of the public who'd like to comment for, about, or against this project? Or if staff had received any? Marlon or Eva, did we receive any comments for this?
I have not received anything this morning.
All right. Hearing no comments from the public, we'll now move to committee member discussions. Committee member Laycon, please.
Well, I understand the sign itself isn't my objection. I don't have an objection with the actual sign or the design, but I find that the height doesn't seem to be compatible with the other signs in the legal neighborhood, and the color and the brightness. All of the signs in the legal neighborhood are white lettering in more of a traditional font that are more in line with the design guidelines that I looked up under the commercial section, where they encourage more is approved, and it's the only sign that's blue and orange and green, and all the other signs around are white and more quiet. If this really is what is striving for, I think we like it to be understated and sophisticated in a type of signage we'd expect to see in our city. So right now I couldn't.
And I think a more subdued lighting cap would be appropriate. So kind of on the fence, but I really think the coloration probably would be mitigated if the lighting wasn't as severe.
Okay, thank you very much. Committee member Chow.
I also echo the points brought up by the fellow committee members, and I thought the sign overall is pretty compatible within the setting, but I think committee member Batnish brought up first, asking the question about the illumination, and then it was also brought up again by committee member Laycon and committee member Brody. So I think that's definitely a concern. So I think that needs to be addressed.
Okay, thank you very much. And Vice Chair Banish.
I have many of the same comments, or most of the same comments. You know, what I observed was that all of the signs on the block, aside from the banks, which are one's across the street, one's kind of on the corner and doesn't really feel like it's very much part of the block. All the signs are white. They're all very subtle. They're all very different from each other. So that allows them to stand out in, you know, different ways. But overall, the look is very subtle. They're all white, which doesn't seem to be accidental. I mean, I even looked at the signs that were there before, like the Cafe Bene sign was also white. And there was another sign before for the hair salon that was, you know, made of like a natural metallic metal material of some sort. So what we have is mostly natural materials. We have no lighting that I can see really in the legal neighborhood, and they're all white. And many of them are on awnings. So I think that this, you know, this is by no means a horrible proposal by any means, but I think it would really benefit. I mean, personally, I could approve this today if we would condition that it be an all white and that it isn't lit in any way. I would be okay with that, but I also would be okay with returning this to perhaps come up with a more natural material that wouldn't look so kind of acrylic, plasticky, shiny, which I don't think really works with the rest of the block. But if it was an all white and wasn't lit in any way, I would be willing to approve it today.
All right, thank you very much. I think I'm in agreement with the comments of Vice Chair Banish. I think the font type is unique to its branding. specific to, stating it's San Marino, and then the last O is kind of in the shape of a tooth. So very, very appropriate for a pediatric dentistry office. The colors, it's not the first choice. So I would say going on white would be more in line with what the rest of the neighborhood has. Illumination, I'm not necessarily against it. I think again, with color conditioning the amount of light output from that system, it could be approvable. However, if the rest of the committee feels that no light would be better than any type of light, then I would be able to support that as well. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this today on the condition that it be an all white and isn't lit in any way.
Okay, do we have a second?
Just let me put in my 2 cents.
Sure.
We don't even have the property owner or a representative that could speak to this issue. We don't know even if this gets approved with committee member Batnich's
Motion.
change,
right.
that would be acceptable to the property owner.
That's a great point, and I think that in that case, thank you for pointing that out. It's a little bit presumptuous without them indicating some agreeability to approve something that they have not submitted. So I would say that we move to continue this until the next DRC meeting, and they can come back with a proposal that addresses our comments, which I believe are fairly uniform between all of us.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Committee Member Chow,
Yes.
Committee Member Lakon,
Yes.
Committee Member Brody,
Yes.
Vice Chair Batnich,
Yes.
Chair Chang.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, so we'll now move on to our second agenda item for the evening. That would be agenda item number DRC 20-31. Staff report, please.
Sure. Item number 2, DRC number 20-31 is a request for 1460 Park Place to install a Tilcor steel shake material in the CF shingle barkwood color which is not found in the city's pre-approved roofing materials list. This particular material has not been installed in the city. It is a new material. However, Tilcor steel shakes of different product lines have been installed at least 4 or 5 other locations throughout San Marino. Staff finds that the material is compatible with the neighborhood, which is made up of a variety of roofing materials, and it would be consistent with the color and style of the existing wood shake that is currently found on the market. That concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you very much. Any questions for staff regarding this project? Seeing none, we'll move to the applicant. Is the applicant present?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lansford, if you could please state your name and address, please.
Robert Lansford, 3535 Landfair Road, Pasadena.
Thank you very much. Just a brief description about the property or the project, and then we'll be able to move forward.
It's got wood shakes existing, obviously banned. He doesn't want cedar light on there. He's got to access the house because of the foliage from the trees. This is a newer product that's been out about 6 months now. And I think the DRC is going to like this a lot more than they'd like the shake. The shake is obviously monotone. You guys have commented that's obviously very flat. We've tried to break it up as best we could, but this has a really good variation in it. I went to an install out in Corona, and I think that you guys are going to really like this product.
Great. Do you have any chance to have a physical sample that you could just show up to the camera? As opposed to, okay.
I do not.
You've seen, but you've seen and felt the physical product in hand, and
I got to install it at their Corona office.
Right, and it differs. I guess the CF means concealed fastening, so that's different kind of installation method than the previous, or is it the same?
Yes, it is. It's a good point. it's installed at the top versus the regular product is installed down at the bottom on a batten. This is applied at the top over plywood.
Okay.
So it's direct to deck versus the other one going over a 2x2 batten.
All right. Are there any questions for the applicant, committee member Lakon?
Do you happen to know the depth of the pieces where it's, I have the other one, the clap bit, but you know, this little picture here that shows what is the depth? Is it the same as that other product, the Shake?
It's a little bit, I'd say about the size of your thumb, about half an inch higher. And they're a lot smaller. The pieces itself are 3 feet, but the pattern is a lot smaller versus the Shake. It's very wide. Each piece is to replicate wood shake. This is really, really small. So it really gives an offset pattern on the roof as wood shake. This is the best product I've seen as far as metal.
Only problem, and correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, that you can't stagger them.
You cannot stagger metal. No, you cannot stagger it. They still haven't brought out a slate product yet. And one of the reasons that is most of the slate products that we install, we do stagger it 1 inch, 2 inches, 2.5, or offset them. But we cannot do that with metal yet. No.
But the metal you can stand on, you're saying?
Oh yeah, you can walk on it. Yeah, you can walk on it, and it's got all the benefits. It's 45% cooler than concrete. It's a watertight system because each piece overlaps. It's not a water shedding system like the concrete. And he wants to walk around on it. So I think this is a good product for him. I wanted to change something because we're running into problems because of the panel is so flat. And so I'm hoping that this will give a different approach to it.
Do you offer other products that resemble wood shake?
I do, but I mean, all of them will have to go through the DRC. The Certainty Presidential would have to go through it. Any of the Inspire products, which are a rubberized material, which I'm not fond of because of UV rays. With the research that I did with my dad, he was a physicist at the University of Illinois. But anyway, they don't last. The UV rays actually make them warp and lift. And I've seen a bunch of those in San Marino. Within 10 years, they have that problem. So there's not a lot of products out there that is going to replicate wood, individual cuts. But
Robert, do you know what kind of roof tiles they use next door? The one with the low white fence?
Low white fence.
Yeah, it's next door.
I got their signature. I got their signature. Yeah, I believe that's a Heartwood of the Cedar Light.
Cedar Light?
Yes, sir. In the color Heartwood, I believe. It was a darker one. It's hard to tell with Cedar Light because it fades so drastically. They don't have a fade warranty on it. That was one of the reasons they were trying to get sued. There was like 180,000 applicants that were trying to sue Cedar Light for that. But I believe the color was Heartwood.
Does this also have the low profile ridge tiles that we've been installing on the other previous Tilcor product that you've done in San Marino that we've requested?
Yeah, I would still make my own. Again, all the ridge caps are manufactured. They look like composition. I don't like them. So we would still make them out. So out of the panel with San Marino, I do 4 out of a panel.
Right, understood. So that would still, we would, if that was the condition, that'd be a condition we would condition this approval on, correct?
Sure.
Just as we have done previously on the other Tilcor products.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any other comments or questions for the applicant here? Seeing none, we'll move to a public comment portion. Is there a member of the public who'd like to speak for or against this product, or if staff has any comment that has been received from the public?
We did receive one email in support of the project. I can go ahead and read it now. The individual who wrote in, his name is Michael Johnson. His address is 1300 Bellhaven Road. And he states, this panel has heard many times about the advantage of stone-coated steel roofing material. The product presented in this case is a new version by the same company and is even more attractive. The house upon which this new material is to be installed is rather isolated. Very few people will see it in the course of a day. It might be observable from a distance, but in that case, the type of material would be unrecognizable. This particular product has not yet been installed in San Marino. Accordingly, this home is a good place to test the new product and see how it looks. I have no interest, financial or otherwise, in this product or the roofing contractor. My only interest is to see a good product available to the people of San Marino.
Great, thank you very much. Is there any other members of the public who would like to speak about or for against this project? I see Mr. Johnson is joined us this evening, but you already submitted a letter, sir, so we do get your comments there. All right, given that, we'll close the public comment portion and move to committee member discussions. Vice Chair Banish.
You know, without seeing this, I know we have to look at new products and new materials, and I'm glad that this is being brought to our attention. You know, you don't have one to show us. I'm looking at the brochures, which the picture on the cover of the brochure for this is for a house that it's for a roofing color that we would never approve. I don't believe that we would approve them. It wouldn't go on a house like this. So it's really hard for me to say, yes, let's just use this, you know, as a test or something, because it's very hard to judge how this is going to look. I want to see it on other homes first. And I was hoping that maybe you would have one to show us kind of how it looks. And even on the video, we would be able to see by perhaps we might be able to see something from it. I do like that from what I observed, that there is a little bit of variation in color that does add to a better look, but I don't have enough to make a decision on installing a brand new material that I haven't seen before in any meaningful way.
Okay, thank you. Committee Member Chow.
Yes, I also agree with Committee Member Petnich, Vice Chair. It's just really a visual reference that's lacking here, especially this being a new product. And even that, you know, I don't know if it's really a good idea to just say that, okay, let's just run a test here. It's just kind of a side street, not many people is going to see it, but fundamentally, I don't know if that's the best approach. I think one thing I would suggest, if in the future, if something like this, for example, today, if we see like a photo of, say, 10 pieces of this roof tile put together, take a picture, and then we can have some sort of scale, in addition with some sort of scale reference, even throwing a couple wood shape next to it. Then I think we have a much better idea what we're looking at. So without that, I think I also struck to approve something that's not on the approved list.
All right, Committee Member Brody.
Yeah, I did some research on this, and
Marlon, can we mute?
Yeah, I
Mr.
went
Chang?
ahead and muted them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I went on YouTube and saw several iterations of this, and it was very well done. The only thing that I think is a negative is it can't be staggered, and I would have preferred, given the product, that it can be staggered, and hopefully they're working on that. But that all said, when you consider the request that the owner would like to walk on the roof, there's not much available. Here we have a situation where the coloration, I think, has a variegation to it that is very well done. It's a long-lived product, and then, frankly, I'm impressed with it, and I could approve it.
All right, thank you very much. And Committee Member Lakon.
I agree with everyone, actually. My first thought, I thought, wow, this looks pretty good. And I had to look over my old notes just to make sure it wasn't the same one that you had brought us, a different one. And so I was pleased initially, and I think from what I could see online, it looks much better. So in that sense, I could approve it. Color, I was okay with the color. I just am a little leery because I haven't actually seen it, and even a piece of it. So I would like to see a piece of it. But I completely understand what committee member Choi and Batnij are saying. So I will, I can maybe approve it. I'm not sure yet. I would like to hear what Chair Chang has to say too.
All right, thank you very much. I am in agreement with comments from committee member Brody. You know, I believe that this product is a good product. There are a few alternates out there. We have requested that the city delve into, and planning the director delve into alternate products for us to review, aside from wood shingles and concrete shingles, which, you know, in and of themselves have their issues, being that they're not walkable, they do crack, and that they are heavy. So, you know, until somebody can come up with a product that will meet every one of our needs, we're going to have to review and base it upon what comes before us. One. Two, the home that is before us is a very nondescript home, given it is in the estate areas. It's not routinely traveled. Actually, Park is kind of on a cul-de-sac, if I remember correctly. So, you know, it's not highly visible. You know, so if you were to do a test product, you'd probably do a test product there than on Huntington Drive or on a more traveled street. Three, the home is a two-story home with a very low profile ridge, not a slope, not a very steep slope. So it meets a lot of the requirements that we've had on other homes where we have approved this TOCOR product. In this instance, I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to see a product installed, given the variegated coloration, the alternating different installation method, being that the fasteners are fully concealed. We would condition it upon the low profile, low rake ridge tiles, which the applicant said he would manufacture and has done so on the other approved projects. So I think this is one of the opportune times for us to do this, and I would be in support of this approval of this project with the conditions stated. Do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve 20-31 pursuant to the conditions that was stated by the chair.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Committee member Chow,
Yes.
committee member Lakon,
Yes.
committee member Brody,
Yes.
vice chair Batnij,
No.
committee chair Chang.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to the third agenda of the evening. I believe it's the approval of meeting minutes.
That is correct. The third and final item for tonight's meeting is the approval of the meeting minutes from May 20th of 2020. There was one correction that I sent to all the committee members earlier this morning for item 8 in those minutes. The original minutes state that the motion was to deny with a vote of 5 yes. It should have been unanimously, that was incorrect. It was the minutes stated that was 5 against. It was actually 5 in favor of the motion to deny. So that was the one correction on the minutes.
Okay, correction is noted and has been entered into the record. Do we have any other comments from committee members after review of those meeting minutes? Seeing none, can we have a motion for approval of those minutes? Do we have a motion? No?
Come on, Chris.
I'm trying to find am I muted or no? I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. I have the number in front of me.
From the May 20th, 2020 meeting.
From the May 20th, 2020 2020 meeting.
All right, do we have a second? I'll second.
Not.
Committee Member Chow with the second. Roll call, please.
Okay, Committee Member Chow,
Yes.
Committee Member Lakon,
Yes.
Committee Member Brody,
Yes.
Vice Chair Batnich,
Yes.
Chair Chang,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, thank you very much. That concludes our agenda for this evening. Seeing that there is no one online for our
Open
review,
forum.
open forum process,
forum.
right? We will call the meeting and adjourn. Thank you very much, everyone.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Be safe.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
Bye, Eva.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.